Parceros, what is going on? I'm a Parcero affiliate and welcome to DOOP By The River. Now, after the Union's tough 2-0 loss in LA to Zlatan Ibrahimovic and company, the question is how they would bounce back to the Montreal Impact this week. We will discuss that question here as well as break down their match against the Impact. And Parceros, that's coming up next. Dale. First off, I want to welcome you back again, Parceros, for tuning in to DOOP By The River. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and hit the bell button to get those notifications and help us grow this channel. So the Union Saturday afternoon would host the Montreal Impact at Talon Energy Stadium. Both clubs had completely opposite results last week, as the Philadelphia Union went into LA and lost 2-0, while Montreal hosted Columbus Crew in their home opener and got a big W, 1-0. For the Unions, would be a huge test for them. Coming off the loss, one could easily say that the morale of the team could be down, and then have to come back home to Chester and face off against the Montreal Impact, who they have lost 5 straight home games to this club. So how would Kirchin's club respond to this moment exactly? Before we talk about the matchup, one thing I wanted to highlight was the MLS's movement with these parlay jerseys. You saw the parlay jerseys all over the MLS this past weekend, and the Union and the Impact wore theirs as well. For us, we got the teal, they were teal color jerseys, and they were nice, but I think the meaning of the parlay jerseys is more important to me. You know, seeing the MLS making an active effort of cleaning up, environments and communities all over the country and all over the North America, I should say, is huge. In all honesty, the MLS really does huge things to just reach out to different, organizations or things that other American leagues just don't reach out to. So, although it's not the most sexiest shirt in my opinion, the meaning and the significance of these parlay jerseys is much bigger. I myself here in Northern Liberty saw the Union and MLS out here cleaning up my neighborhood. So the MLS, really, I commend everyone for making an effort to try to reach the community in any way they can. Now, when we look at the lineups for the Philadelphia Union, first thing we have to talk about was Kirchin has really talked about the quality of depth that we had this season compared to other Union teams. And this match honestly really showed it. We had Marco Fabian, who was injured. We had Austin Trusty, who had a red card. Not to mention Sergio Santos Gomes has still been hurt, and as well as an injury that we had in the middle of the match as well. As far as the tactics go for the Union, Jim Kirchin would use his go-to 4-2-3-1 instead of the 4-4-2 diamond. Using this tactic be one of the huge differences for us winning this match. So our starting lineup for this match, starting at goal, we had Andre Blake again. Now for Andre, was a great match, clean sheet, but in the 54th minute, unfortunately, he had to come off the pitch. He suffered some sort of a groin injury. I really didn't see how exactly happened. A groin injury can just grow worse and worse as time goes on. But I haven't heard any word on how extensive this injury is going to be. Matt Freese actually came in for him since Colonels is down with the steel for right now. So we saw our homegrown player Matt Freese come in for the first time as a Union. And honestly, that's huge. I believe Matt Freese is going to be the future of the Union, if not next season, the year after. Don't be surprised. And honestly, just by looking at him, he looks like an MLS goalie. He's only 20 years old. He's still really young, but the guy's built. From what I hear from teammates, he is a hard-working individual. So the future of our goalie position looks really bright right now. All right, with our back line, a little surprise here. We had Kai Wagner, Aurelien Collin, Jack Elliott, and Ray Gaddis. Now, obviously, the surprise here was seeing Aurelien Collin get his first start with the Philadelphia Union. Like I mentioned, Austin Trusty got the red card, so he would not be available for this match. Mark McKenzie actually suffered a, kind of a last minute, and it was a little fishy if you ask me. Mark McKenzie suffered an appendices injury, which they actually had to remove. I found this out before the match. And I, for one, was a little disappointed. I was looking forward to see Mark McKenzie's first match with the Union. But unfortunately, he would not be able to play. I'm expecting next week Austin Trusty is going to be back out there. So We'll still see when Mark McKenzie will get his start with the Philadelphia Union. Now, Kai Wagner has been very impressive this season. He's been receiving kudos from all over in the league. Unfortunately, in the 90th minute, Kai Wagner went for a slide tackle to save a play, and it was a little careless. He received the yellow at first, but after a VAR review was handed a red card. So that means he's going to be out next week. I will talk a little bit more in depth why this is crucial, but we are going to need him next week against Vancouver, and it's going to be hard. Obviously, we have Fabinho, a veteran leadership guy who's been around. I believe he's in Bethlehem right now. We also have Matt Rial, who was supposed to take this position the last 2 seasons and hasn't been able to grab it by the horns. So we'll see who Kirchen decides to use in place of Kai Wagner, but it was a careless play, and it's unfortunate that we're not gonna have Kai in Vancouver next week. In the midfield is where I give Kirchen the most kudos to. As a left defensive midfielder, we had Harris Medunjanin, and at the right we saw Alejandro Bedoya. These two we saw play together a lot last season. As their left midfielder, Kirchen would use Brendan Aronson. At the number 10 role, we saw Jamiro Monteiro. And at the right midfielder, we saw Ilsinho. Now, I commend Jim Kirchen for starting Jamiro Monteiro. In my preview video, I mentioned that it would be crucial for the Union to harass Samuel Piet. So what Kirchen did was use Jamiro Monteiro as the number 10 position, a role that not a lot of people have seen him play, but he's capable of playing. By playing him high, he was able to harass Samuel with his speed and his defensive tenacity, and he honestly wore out Samuel. By the end of the match, Samuel Piet was absolutely gassed. And up top as our lone forward, we saw Corey Burke back there, a role that we saw him play most of last season. Overall, we really have to commend again Jim Kirchen for using this lineup. The Union were really able to disrupt the back four of Montreal, who've been pretty solid all season long. Now, this match would start off slow as it was raining the night before and the morning as well. Up until match time, we really got clouds all morning long in Philadelphia. Once match time hit, the sun really came out, and it was a beautiful sunny day in Chester. With all the rain, the pitch was a little soggy, so it was a slow start by both teams to get the feel of the pitch. But in the 13th minute, it was a mistake by the Montreal back line, as a lazy pass by Montreal's Daniel Lovets would be intercepted by Corey Burke, giving the Union a 3-on-2 advantage. Burke would take advantage of the space he had and shot a long-range low shot from outside the box to put the Union up 1-0. Before the end of the first half, the Union would draw a penalty kick inside the box, and Jamiro Monteiro would get his first goal as a Philadelphia Union with a 45th minute penalty kick goal. To put the icing on the cake, in the 57th minute, the Union attack was able to catch a sleeping Montreal back line, and with a little team effort, Alejandro Bedoya put away the 57th minute goal to put the Union up 3-0. Even though the Union won 3-0, and it's always fun just to win in general, this was not a convincing win at all. Because after that third goal, the Union eased up on the gas and Montreal had chances. And we were lucky that they didn't put those chances away. With the East being as weak as it is right now, New York Red Bull and Atlanta United both in the bottom of the table, two teams that were dominating the Eastern Conference last year, the Union have to take advantage of this much weaker Eastern Conference. DC United do not look like the team that is going to run away with this East. And Toronto, although look better with Pozuelos and a healthy Altidore, still have weaknesses. This team has depth. This team has talent. If this team wants to be the best of the East, they have to dominate from the first to the 90th minute. Little mistakes cannot happen if you want to be a championship team. But for right now, we are still pretty early in the season, and a lot can be learned by this team. It's important that this team continues building and building with each win that comes, and we will see what happens when it comes time to August, September. But how can I complain right now as a Union fan? I'm extremely ecstatic. Things are looking good. There's more Latinos in Talent Energy, in all honesty. I don't know if it's that I'm noticing them more or they are actually coming, but there is more diversity right now in Talent Energy. Times are good in Chester. But guys, those are my thoughts on the Union match against the Montreal Impact. In the comments below, let me know what you guys thought about this match and about the Union going forward. And again, if you are new to the channel, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification button. Help this channel grow, help soccer grow in Philadelphia in general. But until next time, Parceros, DOOP on.